Hey folks, welcome back. It's feeling a bit like deja vu today because we just picked up another Vapor TRX. As you can see, our first one's right here. But pretty much ever since we got this guy up and running, this first one, finished doing all the TLC, getting it nice and in decent shape, we've been seeking out another one because this game is really fun. And more like surprisingly more fun than we were originally anticipating because if you can recall, we picked this guy up for free. And the only thing that was wrong with it, well, there are a few things wrong with it. You can check out those video blogs if you want, but there wasn't a whole lot other than the monitor. And we got up and running, played the game, and we're like, holy crap, this is way more fun than we thought it would be. Because, you can't say no to a free game, right? But so ever since we got this one up and running and have been playing it, we've essentially been looking for another one because you can link these games up. I think you can link up to like 8 of them or something like that. But, with these racing games, of course, it's going to be infinitely more fun if you have another person playing with you that you're racing against. And so we've been looking for these, and it's been fairly difficult to come across another one. I mean, you see these pop up, and a lot of times they, unsurprisingly, they're in pairs. But that wasn't the case when we picked this guy up. So we've been looking and looking, and luckily we have a friend who's been keeping tabs on the market, and he tipped us off to this one. And coincidentally, we picked this guy up, I think a week or two ago, and I looked at the dates, and it's almost exactly a year since we got this one here. So kind of funny coincidence. But anyways, the difference between this one and when we picked this guy up is this one fully works, which is awesome. But the downside is it needs a lot of TLC, more than this guy did. It needs a fair amount of work. Nothing wrong with that. But we can kind of break that down here. We've already obviously removed the seat. That's sitting over here. Actually, if you look, things are kind of in a bit of a mess here. We're finishing up remodeling our bathroom, and so we had to move things around in the garage. But on top of that, we had to make space, obviously, for this guy. And with that in mind, actually, sad news, but Baby Pac-Man is going. We sold this guy. It just hasn't been. We haven't packed it up and all that stuff. But Baby Pac-Man has been sold because we needed to make space. And of all the games here, this was the first one on the chopping block. So sad to see it go, but that kind of comes with the territory with this hobby. Space is a premium. But anyways, let's talk about Vapor TRX. So yeah, the garage is a little bit in a mess right now. But anyways, why don't we just start top to bottom? So first things first, this marquee is just destroyed. If you look closely, you can see it's cracked this way, it's cracked this way. It's trash. We need to get a new marquee. The bulb is also, if you can kind of look in there, it's shot too. So new bulb, new marquee. Hopefully we can find another one. The one that we have here is a new old stock one, and it looks fantastic. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we can find another one for this guy here. But yeah, so we'll start up there. Next is the monitor. Now, when you first power this game up, now granted, when we picked this game up, who knows how long the game had been on when we got there. It was already powered up. But when you first turn this on, and I did record some footage, the monitor is way out of focus. The image is constantly bouncing. It's almost like it's constantly blooming, as we call it. It's kind of pulsing. And that goes on and on for a good 15 to 20 minutes before it gets mostly better. But then I just noticed now, because I powered this game up about 20 minutes ago, and now it goes, the focus goes from way out of focus to mostly in focus after about like 10-15 minutes, and now it's out of focus again. So all these are symptoms that this monitor needs desperately needs a rebuild. So it'll get the whole treatment. It'll get all new caps. These flybacks on these Neotech monitors are notorious for having problems, and that's probably what's causing our focus issues here. So it'll get a complete rebuild, and I'll dial that sucker in, and hopefully I can get it color balanced so that both of these look the same. I mean, they're both Neotech monitors. I haven't pulled this one out to see if it is another 2700, but my guess is probably, or at least in the same family. But yeah, so the monitor needs a big rebuild. You probably can't see real well, but the glass really needs a cleaning. It's really filthy. There's a lot of streaks and smear marks. If it's bad enough, if it's scratched up, we can just get that replaced. But the glass needs some work. All of the security screws all throughout are rusty, just like the other Vapor was. So we need to clean all those up, probably repaint them or get new bolts. Let's see, speaker grills. Maybe we can find a paint that matches that, and then do the blue treatment and repaint these, because these are all rusty. And if I go that route, I don't know if I'm going to go back here and do the blue on this as well. But it does match the bracket down here, and so yeah, I mean, that's a distinct possibility. Or hey, maybe this will be the blue cabinet and this will be the black. Who knows? But in any case, there's a lot of rust and dirt, so it needs to be cleaned up. Let's see here. Oh, the yoke. So for the most part, this game completely works, except the left thumb button and the left trigger. Neither one of those work, which I can guarantee you that it's just a wiring issue, just like this one was. There's some really thin gauge wire that goes up to these switches in here, and that gets severed because of how tight everything is. When I pulled the other one apart, all that wiring, which is fed through like a little heat shrink, like a little tubing, was just completely severed. Now you can play the game, like you don't have to have the left side working because these are all interjoined. They do the same thing. So you only need one trigger, one thumb button, but it's really nice to have both. So I will go through and fix that wiring. In general, the yoke feels a little bit loose. So I'm gonna look and see if I can tighten some things up here. This one just feels a little more fluid, and isn't just, I don't know how to describe it. This just feels a bit more loose. So we'll get that fixed up. Obviously all these screws too need to be cleaned up. I think that's about it. Speakers, everything works. We got some coin door lights, or coin door light, I should say. That needs to be replaced. We got to remove this big, monstrous, heavy-duty metal security door. The other Vapor had one too, but so we'll remove that, clean up these coin doors. I'm trying to think. Oh, okay, so down here, this is for the coin bucket. I noticed, here, let me zoom in here. There's a micro switch right here, and it's rigged up so that it closes, it goes into the closed position when the door is shut. And I'm not sure at all what the purpose of that was. I've went into the test mode. I've looked at a little bit of the wiring, and it really doesn't serve any purpose. It doesn't trigger anything. So I'm not sure at one time, or another, there was, I'm sure, a purpose for that. I don't know if it's a security thing or what. But as far as I can tell, it doesn't do anything. So I'm not entirely sure what that's all about, but who knows. Let's see, while we're down here, there's, when we picked this up, there were several of these carriage bolts and for the seat, or yeah, the seat bracket that were missing. So we need to pick up some new bolts, the simple stuff like that. As you can see, like every one of these is just rusty as all hell. So needs to be cleaned up. It's amazing what just taking the rust off a bolt will do as far as TLC goes and make the game look a lot nicer. Because when you see it against this black, it's just a big eyesore. Oh, one other cool thing. There's a Century Theaters tag on this. So at one point or time, this lived in a Century Theaters, which I think is pretty cool. So obviously they'll leave that there. But it's always a fun little nugget when you can figure out where this game lived at one point or another. But yeah, so the game mostly works. I should say it works, but it does need some work, especially TLC. Let me go around the back because, let's see, I can go around this side here. Oh, we'll talk about the sides. If I can get back far enough, this is a really tight space here. Just like the other Vapor, the sides are a little bit rough, but for the most part, the artwork is still pretty vibrant. Obviously there's some scratches and whatnot, but just like the other one, we've kind of decided it's not really worth it to do a complete full restore. I think we'll clean everything up that we can, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, the artwork's pretty nice. The bottom edge is a little bit rough. I haven't decided if I want to. Usually what I'll do when the bomb's rough like this and the vinyl's a little bit lifted, I'll take like an X-Acto, just trim that off so it doesn't snag. And then in this case, I might actually go with like a plastic protector on the bottom here, just to prevent more of that from happening. But otherwise, the artwork isn't too bad. In fact, let me go around on the other side here. Let's see here. So the other side is pretty similar in that regard. Pretty nice, little rough at the bottom, but really not bad. And it's interesting because this one's just like our first Vapor in that one side is almost perfect and the other side is a little bit more rough. So I'm just guessing that at one point this game was like in a corner, and so it got a little more friction than the other side. So that's my guess at least. But let's go around the back here. Sorry, this is kind of a guerrilla style video again. Very tight space back here. Okay, so a few things that I want to talk about back here. First off, here's another switch. So if you can see here, here's another micro switch on the back door that I have absolutely no idea what it does. This obviously was meant to be closed when you have the back door on and open when you pull it off. And I thought, well, maybe that's like a security thing. Maybe if you pull the door off the game, they have it rigged up for the game to just shut off, or, some sort of security thing. And if you look up here, it's really like, look at that. That is so hodgepodgey. I don't know what that wiring is even for. But just like the switch by the coin bucket, I've played around with this. I've went into the test menu. I haven't traced the wiring, but as far as I can tell, this switch does absolutely nothing. I can have it depressed like this, power the game up, powers up just fine. Press it in, doesn't do anything. Test mode, doesn't trigger anything. So I have no idea what that switch is for. But, and the other Vapor doesn't have this stuff, so who knows? Let's see here. All right, moving along. PCB, battery needs to be replaced, and this thing is dead as all hell, so it's not saving settings. So that'll need to be replaced, no big deal. This has the original hard drive in it, so I plan to do the flash card upgrade where you just use a little adapter so it can use a compact flash card. Then you just have less mechanical parts that can fail. The game boots up faster. It's a little more reliable. But for the most part, everything obviously works. I do have to tell you. So when we first got this game loaded up, and we had it all loaded up in our van, and we're driving home, we start hearing coins and coins and coins all shifting around the entire drive. It was about a little over an hour of a drive. it was like nothing but coins shifting around. The smallest little turn, the smallest little bump, coins were shifting around. It sounded like a coin pusher. That's what my girlfriend was saying. It's not, like one of those coin pusher machines. And so we're wondering how many coins are in this thing. We open it up, and mind you, there's no coins in the coin bucket. So at some point, all those coins got back here, because when we opened this thing up, this was just chock full of coins, all tokens, mind you, with a few quarters. I'm going to be going through those in another video, but I did take some pictures, and it was a massive amount of tokens. I can't even tell you, this whole bottom was just chock full of nothing but tokens and coins, and all around the transformer here and by the power supply. And all I can figure is that when this game was moved and tipped, that the coins traveled from this back crevice back here and got all the way out into this area in the bottom of the cabinet. And so I have no idea how many tokens there are, or quarters or whatnot, but it is a massive amount. My girlfriend, after we collected all of them, we put them into a Ziploc bag, and she put them on a scale, and it was like something like 14.5 pounds of tokens. I've never seen that many in one game before. And all I can figure is that at some point, when this game was moved from location to location, the operator was just like, I don't need those tokens, or they were just too lazy to open the game up and clean them out, because it's a massive amount. Like, I'm guessing there's over 1,000 coins in there, tokens. It's unbelievable. But it's just funny to me that neither the previous owner that we got this from, or the previous arcade operator, or whoever, from route to route had this game, just decided, we don't need to even open up the back door. And mind you, the back door wasn't even locked. It just had one screw in it. That was it. So I don't know, but it's going to be fun to go through those. I'll probably do another video on that. So stay tuned for that. But anyways, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it with this game. Mechanically, the controls need some work. I need to go into the settings and dial everything in the same as the other Vapor, upgrade the hard drive, and rebuild the monitor. But and the controls, if I didn't mention that already. But that's about it. So to get the game like up and running isn't that big of a deal. It's a lot of TLC though. So, and there's nothing wrong with doing a lot of TLC, because that's like probably one of the biggest payoffs ever. That's an easy before and after gratification. So, so we'll go through that. I didn't mention this, but there's a little bit of this inner melamine could probably use some black paint. As you can see, it's a little rough here. Draws a little bit of an eyesore. But yeah, there it is. So pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to diving into this. I'll do a couple more video blogs, and then yeah, getting these linked up was going to be a lot of fun. I think the game's already a lot of fun, but adding another player to it is going to be a hoot. So really looking forward to this. But that about wraps it up. This is just the first video blog. There'll probably be a couple more. And yeah, stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, thanks for watching.